The reason we get sick, the reason we have illnesses is because of the fact that we have misaligned energy or low vibrational energy within inside of our body. Our mind has to believe it. Our mind has to say, yes, this is possible and know what to do. But the more that we connect in with our heart space, the more that we connect in with our soul, with our true divine essence, the more that your body has the ability to start healing itself, to show you what you can work through, to go through different elements in order to really, give yourself what you need. And I do believe you can heal anything with energy. 100% believe it.
Hey y'all, it's Dani C with the Happy Life Agenda, and I am here today with Carrie Cardozo from The Psychic Within, and she is also a master psychic and global leader, so I'm so excited to talk with you today.
Thank
So
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
And so I want to start off today with you kind of telling us your story, like how did you become a master psychic and
Okay.
what do you do with these amazing talents? So
Awesome.
fill us in on your history.
So it is a pretty intense story. I've been a psychic my whole life, but I really had no idea that I was psychic because anytime I would say something to my mom, like, oh, I see a lady, or, I saw something in my mirror last night. She'd be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So she kind of like poo-pooed it away. She was busy. So it wasn't until much later in life that I actually realized I had these gifts. And it started really like I entered a period of my life. I got married very, very young and had my first child right when I turned 20. And life was good, like it was great. But then a lot of things started happening. And the very first one was that I had my daughter. And from the age of probably about 4 years old, I have always known to the point where I can remember being 9, 10, and being terrified that I was pregnant. Now, I had no idea how you even got pregnant at the age of 9 or 10, but I just always had this knowing that I was going to have this baby that I wasn't necessarily supposed to have. Like that people wouldn't be happy that I was having, kind of thing. That it would be, a surprise. And so when I was about 28 or 29, I was having a conversation with my cousin. And not only had I had Maddie, she was 9 years old by then, but I had had cancer. I had seen people I knew, get divorced, different people I knew pass, and all of these things I had seen. And I was really struggling with the divorce that I was going through and the decision I had made, and I was frustrated. And I remember talking to one of my best friends, and she was like, "It's okay." And I was like, "I know. We see these things anyway. We know they're going to happen." And she was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" And I was like, "But we see them. Like we're shown them as a child. So there's no reason we should be upset. We've already been warned." And she was like, "I don't understand." I was like, "Yeah, I've seen everything that's happened." And I listed them all off for her. And she was like, "No, that's not normal." But I was a busy mom and I was going through a divorce and I was running a multi-million-dollar company. And so I kind of just left it alone. And then in 2014, unexpectedly, my partner, fiance at the time, passed away completely unexpectedly. And it is really what stopped me in my tracks to be like, you have to pay attention. Like and it isn't just because he passed, but I could see him. I could feel him. I could hear him. And it was almost immediate. I can remember being hysterical that he had passed. And then all of a sudden, this energy coming into me and just calming me down and just hearing, it's okay. It's okay. And so his passing really did set me on my journey of really understanding like what happens when we pass. Like I needed to know where he went. I needed to know that he was still okay. I needed to know that I could still communicate with him. And I had no idea how, other than like I can remember as a child, I would see spirits, and my best friend when I was 5 years old passed, and I always saw her. I just thought it was my imagination. I was thinking about her, so I would see her kind of thing. But when Mike passed, it really was this space of like, I could see him and hear him. And then other psychics and mediums started saying, he's telling me he will only talk to you. Like he's telling me you can hear him and see him. Can you hear him and see him? And I'd be like, yeah, but I sound like a lunatic if I'm like, my fiance died and now I can hear him and see him. I just felt crazy.
Yeah.
But his passing really did wake me up to all of my gifts and abilities. And it wasn't just like a flip of a switch. I had to practice and I spent a lot of time refining my gifts, but it really was the spark, the situation that ignited where I am now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So one of the things in talking with you, over this weekend, we're at a retreat for women podcasters, and you had said that everyone has a psychic within them. And that's kind of what your
Yes.
podcast is about.
Yeah.
So kind of tell me, you discover this for yourself, and then how do you help other people figure that out?
Yeah. So I have the ability to, when I meet somebody, I can see their gifts and abilities. I can see why they're here. I see like their soul blueprint is what I would call it. And it shows me what their abilities are, what they can do, what they're supposed to be doing with them. And so I really help people to tune into that and tap into them. And one of my gifts, like I meet a lot of psychics, I work with a lot of people. There's a beautiful psychic who's here as well. But one of my unique gifts is that anything in the psychic world, anything in the energetic world, spiritual world, I can do. So, and it's very unique. Not a lot of people can do that. And not only can I do it, but I have mastered it. I'm phenomenal at it. And so that means from speaking to animals, to departed loved ones, to doing shamanic work, to doing medical intuition, talking with guides, reading souls, past lives, future lives, timelines, all of that stuff. And so because of that, I have this amazing ability to teach other people how to do whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing, because I do know how to do it. And although I don't do them all, I do, and I'll do them whenever I need to, but I know how to do them. So I have the ability to teach people exactly their way. Plus I can see the way you work with energy. I see the way energy flows through your body. I can see how you connect with energy. So I show you exactly how to do that.
Oh my gosh. Now, is that kind of, you didn't know that you had the ability? Is that how you built your original multi-million dollar business? Is kind of like was
That
in the
wasn't
background?
my business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. The business that I ran before Mike passed, I just ran a business, but I did use my psychic abilities. I would, I'd be sitting in a meeting and my boss would be like, what do you think we should do with this? And I just tell him, and then he'd leave and I'd be like, oh God, I hope that was right. Like I have no idea where that came from. I don't even know what he was asking me.
Wow.
So yeah, that wasn't my company, but
Okay.
I did, unbeknownst to me, use my abilities
You
there.
leveraged it for your careers. That's very
Yes.
cool. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep.
So I want to touch on something you said, medical intuition. And I think we've
Yeah.
talked earlier, you talked about healing. And there's, I've worked in the integrative medicine space for a long time. And a lot of the things that we see as we age and our vitality kind of leaves is we think we need all of these different medicines and therapies in order to feel better. But if we really tap into our minds, we can kind of heal our own body. So can you talk a little bit about that and how you
Yeah.
can help people with that?
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. One of the things that I've seen, so we're always connected with the energetics around us. So we're feeling the earth's energy, we're feeling the universe's energy, we're feeling all the energies that are available to us, source, God, however you resonate. And because of the evolution that we're going through, we are able to feel and connect with energy at a much deeper level. And because the energy's vibration is what I would say rising, it's getting higher, it's getting more clear, more aligned, filled, more source filled. What's actually happening is people they have the ability to age slower. So one of the things that I have seen is that the stronger a connection is with energetics, it's almost like you reverse age. So people who have like those glow ups, they say, a lot of the time it's because they've done their healing work. So their energy within inside their body is clearer. It's a higher frequency. If you have a higher frequency within inside of your body responds better. The reason we get sick, the reason we have illnesses is because of the fact that we have misaligned energy or low vibrational energy within inside of our body. And so when you really know how to, and I say it's more of a soul connection than a mind thing. Our mind has to believe it. Our mind has to say, yes, this is possible and know what to do. But the more that we connect in with our heart space, the more that we connect in with our soul, with our true divine essence, the more that your body has the ability to start healing itself, to show you what you can work through, to go through different elements in order to really, give yourself what you need. And I do believe you can heal anything with energy. 100% believe it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Because, I follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, so I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. And, some of again, the space that I work in is people with like these hormone imbalances. And I feel like we're just switching big pharma for integrative medicine. And so my mom has thyroid issues, but it's affecting her memory at what I would say is a pretty young age. So it's so cool to see that you can tap in and maybe help that without all of these very expensive,
Yeah.
medications and such.
Yeah, one of the
So,
things that I do, like my kids don't take medication. We do energy healing. We focus on, when I'm doing healing, I focus on 5 aspects of the human. So we have to focus on the mindset, so the thoughts, the emotions, the physical, which isn't just the physical body, but it's also the actions you're taking, the spiritual aspect, and the energy aspect. If you do not touch on all 5 of those, you will never have complete healing. So that's why, like, a surgery will fix the problem, but the problem will just recreate itself. It's why cancer comes back. It's why, people continue to get sick. It's why, the same thing keeps happening over and over again if we're not addressing all 5 aspects of the human.
So could someone come like see you kind of come and understand that and then be able to like, I don't know, kind of stave off the flu, or if they're dealing something with a thyroid issue, they can kind of heal themselves, or is it something that they need to continuously see someone like you or you
Yeah.
for?
So I do believe that everyone should heal themselves. And I do. And part of my process is, yes, I call myself a healer. I'm a healer and I do the energy part of the work. But I also believe that if we have a true desire to heal and we're doing our inner work, that we don't need somebody else to do it for us. As long as we're willing to do the work that's necessary. And in the beginning, maybe you do. In the beginning, maybe you do need to work with a energy healer or do a meditation or something, because it's the energetic part that we can switch and move around. But no, I do believe that everyone can heal themselves. Getting into that specific frequency, looking at their thoughts, every single thing. There's nothing that happens to the physical body that does not have a mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic connection to it. So you don't just like get a bug. There's a reason you got it. You don't just break your leg. There's a reason you broke your leg. And when you understand what that is and you start to make the changes, then those things don't happen. We're not just putting a band-aid. We're not just like resetting the leg and saying, okay, you're good, go, until something else happens. Like, here's a great example. My oldest got a concussion in high school. I'm a terrible mom. I don't remember if it was freshman or sophomore year or whatever, but she got a concussion on a specific
Mhm.
day playing soccer. A year later, she got a concussion on the exact same day, a full year later. That oftentimes happens with people. If people really pay attention, they will have a very similar experience on the same day, either a year or two apart or 3 years apart or whatever, because it's just a cycle you're repeating because of the fact that you're not fixing why you actually had it. So yeah, in a soccer game, the why could be, well, it was a rough game. She got pushed over, she hit her head. But yeah, that might be what happened, but that's not why it happened. So when you understand the why, you have the ability to not just stop a pattern, but you're also helping the body, because the body is the whole reason. You are the reason that it's happening.
Wow, this is so interesting. Well, I want to touch on the pattern thing because the other thing that, kind of on my journey is that I realized I was repeating patterns, not for sickness, but just life in general. Like, even though it's been 20, 40 years, I'm waking up and I'm kind of having the same thoughts and living the same day, even though time has progressed. So talk about how people can kind of, not for healing, but just feeling better and doing things that change their lives, how they can use the energy and what you
Yeah.
do.
So people who have that, and everybody has that. Like, there's days that I'm like, God, how many times am I going to wake up feeling like this? So
Right.
everybody has that. It's like part of being a human. But when people have that, this is kind of the process that I walk them through, is, for one, have the emotion. Have it. One of the reasons we get sick is because we don't allow ourselves to have or feel or experience the emotion. We make an emotion bad. So anger is bad, or you're not a great person if you get mad, or you're not successful if you have frustrations or doubts or fears, when in reality, feel them all. They're all legit, and don't let them mean anything. You're just having it. So once you have it, it's a release of energetics. It is a release of whatever it is that you're holding. If you keep it in or you stifle it down, or you're like, no, I can't get mad right now, I need to go, then it's not going to help. Okay. Even if like you're in the moment, you can't get mad in that moment, make note of it and give yourself permission to have that release later. Second thing is I really start to understand why. So, what part of your beliefs are you continuing to release? What is the thing that you're holding on to? What is the limitation? What's the fear? And normally it is associated with a fear. And where did it start from? So, one of the things that I have seen over and over and over again is that and this has been true with every single person I've met, is that whatever it is that you're struggling with, whatever's keeping you back, whatever that cycle is, happened between 0 and 7 years old. So you have to find the origination point, is what I call it, from 0 to 7. and understand what it is that you took from that situation. Because the situation could have been like, your mom saying, like, I worked with a CFO one time and she had a really hard time speaking in public. And when we went back to it, when she was in second grade, her teacher put her in a corner for speaking. She said she was a chatterbox, and so she put her in the corner. And so she learned that speaking got you in trouble and embarrassed you.
Oh, no.
And even though she didn't consciously remember it, anytime she had to do a report or speak in front of people, she would be in this terrible space that she was going to get in trouble or be punished for it. So when you go back, and as a psychic, I have the ability to see what that is, exactly that
I was going to say,
situation.
how do we go back?
Yeah, I can see what it is. But
Okay.
you can also go in and talk to your inner child. And your inner child, or go in and ask, like, you can also just request, like, say, like, please show me what it is that is holding me back. Please show me what this belief is. You'll either remember what the situation was, or it will constantly, like in that situation, the speaking, someone will be like, oh, you're talking nonsense. They'll start talking about like maybe not believing you in speaking, or somebody will embarrass you, and it'll happen over and over again. And you'll be like, oh my God, this is the repeating theme that happens. Then you want to switch it. Then you want to help yourself to recognize, like, it is safe to speak, that it isn't, you're not going to get punished, or whatever the belief is. You want to help yourself to do that, but you also want to immediately take an action. So if your fear is speaking in public, you want to immediately go find a place that you can speak in public, speak on a podcast, commit to something, because if you don't, you're reaffirming the pattern that you don't do it.
Oh, wow.
Where if you do, you start to reaffirm the pattern that, okay, it is safe to do it. I have done it. And so it's part of this balance of really understanding the deep inner work, but also taking that action. Now, the spiritual and energetic aspects of it is that we want to look at where the energy is stuck. So there'll be like an energy knot. So energy should flow through your body in this, cycle, like this circuit, uninterrupted. If there is something that's holding you back, a fear, a limiting belief, it'll look like this perfect line and then a ball of yarn, like a knot of yarn. We want to unknot that. And that's the energetic work, is taking that and really working and massaging that energy so it flows cleanly, like through your throat chakra, or it flows cleanly through like your sacral chakra or your solar plexus. Because if you have a fear or limiting belief, it's not flowing through. Now, if energy doesn't flow through long enough, you start to get sick.
Oh, wow.
That disalignment of energy, that knot of energy, will create a physical problem within inside your body.
Oh my gosh. So does, the getting sick, does that apply to like, some of the epidemic of mental illness? We see like everybody has anxiety, everybody has depression. Is a lot of that those knots?
Yes.
And it's not just about having like the flu or being
Correct.
physically sick all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of the belief system that we have, or even the energetics around us. Like, there's a lot of chaos going on in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's feeling it.
Yeah.
So everybody has that. And as humanity, we grow and evolve together. So in the healing, rule of healing, kind of, it's like a loose rule, is that you start healing the way you develop. So between 0 and about 3 to 5 years old, your base chakra develops. So, and then your sacral chakra develops, and then your solar plexus develops based on age. So, and that's really when it's affected, and it's really when it'll start latching on and holding the energetics. So we heal that way too. We start with the base, and then we go to the sacral chakra. So as a community, we're doing that. So when we see an epidemic like COVID, the reason we see it for energetic purposes is because of the fact that everybody's working on their heart space. It is a global heart space opening. So that's why you'll see similar things that are happening, is because in the whole scheme of things. Now, individually, people could be working on different levels, but as a global evolution, we were working on the heart space. And that's why you'll see a lot of, because when you're working on something, it can get worse because you're bringing the things to the surface. You're like expunging the energy that's in there, and it can cause you to get sick. It can bring things up to the surface.
Wow, this is so fascinating. And I'm like, we're almost out of time, but I'm going to have you on again because I just have so many more questions.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm definitely going to like actually pick your brain some more, but behind the scenes, but also like try some of this because this is just fascinating. And you're right. As a population, we're starting to move. I've heard more about this energy stuff and like started to kind of tap into it myself. And so talking to someone like you really brings it like to a full scope and a big
Yeah, adds
full
like another
picture.
level to it, to
Yeah.
what you already know.
Yeah, I love it. So, if you would, I want you to tell everyone where they can learn more, how they can connect with you, and maybe benefit from your services.
Awesome. Thank you. So, you can find me. I have a podcast called The Psychic Within where I talk about some healing stuff and psychic stuff, as well as on any social media platform. You can find me at Carrie Cardozo or carriecardozo.com.
Awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Carrie.
you.
And as always, if you would like to go to the happylifeagenda.com, I'll be talking with Carrie some more, and I'll have her information on my website. And then don't forget to click subscribe below and come and see us next time. Thanks so much.